Hello crochet friends! Just a quick Tuesday check-in to see what I've been getting up to. This is G Crochet Off the Hook. I'm G, sharing my love of crochet and yarn. I have a little bit of yarn. I'm just going to kick off because everything's a little bit random at the moment. And the first thing I'm going to share with you is a little sneak peek at my hashtag by hook or by crook with Pamela from Ginger Cat Crochet. We were watching the Thursday Murder Club and I have submitted my little something from the movie to Pamela, and I'll just show you a little sneak peek, and that is this. Does look a little bit murderous, but nobody was harmed in the making of this tiny little acrylic knife. And that's for hashtag by hook or by crook with Ginger Cat Crochet. And the end of October, we'll see what everybody has got up to from watching the Thursday Murder Club movie, which I really enjoyed. The second make, and I have not been able to partake every week, and I know there are still 2 more weeks left, I think. It's the hashtag Crochet Roulette 2025, hosted by Tracy from Travel Crochet AU. And even though I haven't been able to take part, I have certainly enjoyed all the creativity that has been shared. It's Tracy and there are 9 other YouTubers who I've slowly been getting to know by watching their reveals with the Crochet Roulette, and it has been a lot of fun. The last make that I was able to take part in was this gorgeous red astronaut, and he had definitely visited some space, and the space was in my yarn closet. He had a look at all the other yarn, which is similar to what he's been made with, which is Owl Yarn's DK Acrylic Charity. He was made with a 2.5mm hook, and this pattern is a pattern from Elisa's Crochet, and she has this free astronaut on her blog, and you can get hold of Elisa's Crochet through her Instagram account and then follow her link to free patterns that she has available, including this little astronaut. Now, the little gizmo in the front, which is his control panel that hooks up to his oxygen tank on the back, that I did make up myself, just to make it work the way I needed it to. So that was my color red, and the theme was space, and this little astronaut traveled in my yarn closet, whispering to me where there was space for more yarn to fill up. So that was hashtag Crochet Roulette 2025. The next make that I have been able to complete is my corner to corner house square for October, the haunted house, which is needing a little bit of blocking, but it is complete. And this was the haunted house, and if anybody has watched the square that I made for, what was it called, the schoolhouse square, I was not a fan of the windows, and I still wasn't a fan of the windows on this one, but I think it has turned out rather well. I did use a lemon yellow, a black, a mauve, a sunshine. Yes, this was one of the squares that had less colors in it. than some of the previous ones, and I'm happy that this one is done and dusted. So it will receive some blocking, and this is hosted by Repeat Craft to Me on her blog. She has all the squares for the year that have been available on her blog, and so much more. How to do these blankets with the square in the middle and then complete a blanket around it. And I still haven't decided whether I'm going to join all the squares together or make perhaps 12 individual blankets, smaller blankets, but I haven't decided yet. And included in the blog is not only the corner to corner, which is being done with half double crochet, and I'm using a 4.5mm hook, and also my Owl Charities yarn, is also the graph to make these house squares as single crochets. So I must admit I did this one before I did the corner to corner one. Of course, to complete the blanket I needed it done as a corner to corner. But I don't even know why I had not that much joy with all the color changes with the windows again. But this is the version that is done using single crochets, the graph for the single crochet. And I think I did it because the moon, I chose to do a full moon on the corner to corner one, and this one I did just the half moon. But you can see the difference between if you used the graph to do it via single crochet, and my squares are working to 30 by 30 centimeters for the half double crochet. So we only have 2 more squares left to go. So there's November, which I think is going to be the doghouse, Snoopy on top of the doghouse, and the Christmas square is already available. And I think if I do get a chance, I will make the Christmas square before December, so that December there isn't all that rush of trying to crochet projects for December. Awesome. Then the next thing that I did, I have completed the main part. I'm just not sure. I'm in 2 minds of how I want to, what it is that I'm wanting to do with this absolutely wonderful, never-ending wildflower. Now this is a tutorial that I had a cup of hot chocolate with, and I grabbed this yarn called Hometown Lion Brand yarn. It was this colorway. I did hold 2 strands together. It has turned out to be a lovely soft yarn, which for my initial wanting to make use of my never-ending wildflower wasn't quite going to work. And I thought it would make it better doubling the strands, but it didn't. This is just a wonderful soft yarn. This is Kilago Tweed, and it's 94% acrylic and 6% rayon. That's the Lions brand Hometown. And the tutorial is with Jill from Gumleaf Crochet and Yarn. Love Jill's tutorial. I do so many of them and just keep them on the side until I find a project that I'm wanting to do them with, to use them to make something special. So my wildflower is quite a number of rows, and I think that the color of this Lion Brand specific, what did we say, Kilago Tweed, just made me think of fields of wildflowers. Now, I was also thinking of putting it on a wall hanging, which I think Jill said she was planning on putting together for her yarn room. And And so I made mine quite a bit bigger to get a good size, but the yarn is so lovely and soft that it definitely won't hold up on a wall hanging. But I do have this pillow inner, and I think the Wildflower is a good size, and I think it would make a beautiful pillow cover. I now need to just have a little think to see, and I have made round motifs, you know, where you square them off. I have done that before, so I just need to figure out, do I want to do a second Wildflower at the back? I do have enough yarn for that. Or do I want to do a plain back and square off the Wildflower? Or, yes, lots of decision making and thinking going into this. But I absolutely love how this Wildflower, the never-ending Wildflower, turned out. Thank you so much for that tutorial, Joel. And once you get into the rhythm, like I did with this one, you can just increase and increase. I suppose I could have increased until I had completed this skein. But when I thought about the pillar idea and I measured it, I thought, okay, that would be a good size if I go with the pillar idea. So that was another completed portion of what will become a whip once I decide how I want to tackle the pillow. Then the next thing that I did was I had some old curtain rings that are lying in a craft box, and I had some gorgeous mustard custard. It's nearing lunchtime, people. I think I'm wanting stewed fruit and custard. Total side note that. I had this gorgeous mustard colored cotton, and so I made 3 of these where you crochet around whatever your hoop is. This was just an old curtain ring, and then I had some more crafty wooden appliques in my craft box, and I hot glued them on here. Where are the other ones hanging up back there? But it looks so pretty hanging them on a wall or on the door. I did make some Christmas gifts as placement goodies on the table, and where everybody had in greens and reds and whites, I think, the same concept, and I just had little reindeer, little wooden applique reindeers my husband had brought back to me from one of his trips that I could put into the middle, and they made, what is it called? Anyway, decorated the Christmas table where I put the knives and the forks and the serviettes and that as a little gift for everybody to take home. And then I also did the same upcycling the wooden curtain rings with a lovely white cotton. And all I did here was I had some white ribbon, and I picked some lavender from the garden, and I've put 3 sprigs. This can move up and down the way it's very tight on there, the bow does secure the lavender in there, but I did pick it fresh, and then as the lavender dries out, it can be a never-ending little display, or I don't know if I'm gifting these yet or not, but I could pick fresh lavender or rosemary and still use the way that I've tied the bow on at the bottom there to actually just change them up. But this again is perhaps a nice idea as ornaments or little gifts, or even as for, oh, I can smell the lavender, for high teas and things like that, to have on the table as little gifts for your guests to take home with them. And it's handmade with love and crafting. And that's it, except for my yarn haul. So I didn't have very much yarn in a pink yarn. It's my pink yarn haul. Didn't have very much of the color pink. I don't think I often buy a lot of pink as such, but it was a wonderful outing. Hubby took me out to town and I stocked up on some various pink yarn. So I now have some ribbon yarn. It's the Bella ribbon from Classic Yarns, and we managed to find 3 gorgeous pinks. So again, I don't know if I'll make coasters or placemats. This is that ribbon yarn. I have used it during the course of the year. Let's just see if it's there. You can make baskets. I've done bath mats, but you can make baskets, anything really. It's actually carpets. I'm all pretty in pink with those 3. And then I stocked up for my beanie makes, and I managed to get 1 beanie done with the color pink already. I think I used this color. Yes, it's called Petal Pink. I had 2 of these. I've used 1 to make 2 beanies, so that was awesome. This is the Kismet's Knitspiration Chunky, and it's 100 grams with 150 meters. It's 100% acrylic, cool tumble dry, cool wash, 3.5 ounces, 163 yards, and it's the same for all of them. So this one was the Petal Pink. This is, so let's show this properly. Petal Pink, there's Fondant Pink, and the last one was Candy Floss Pink. So there they are, and I got 2 of each. Yeah, I can never leave with one. My husband will say pairs. So I'm very fortunate I have this, and the majority of them will most probably be used for my beanies. Then I also picked up, this is a 4-ply Baby Pastels Chick. I haven't taken it out of the pattern, but because we were on a pink shopping trip, it's called Marshmallow, I grabbed myself 2 of these. I might just need to open it so we can actually see the color. 50-gram balls, and it is trust me, I can't see how much is in here, but anyway, it's 100% acrylic. It's 4-ply color marshmallow, and it's Chick's Baby Pastels. And knowing me, I'll use 2 strands together, or maybe I'll make a little baby outfit for donations. And then last but not least, I got a 300-gram, 750 meter, 100% acrylic. This is Kismet's 67 blankets making every day a Mandela Day. This gorgeous called Unicorn Swirl. We see all those pinks. It feels very unicorny. So that's my update. I had too much coffee yesterday, not enough coffee today. There's just lots happening, and the hours And time zones and all sorts of things are messing with my sleep. Even F1 over the weekend kept me up way until 1 o'clock in the morning. And the rest of this week is going to be just as confusing. But in between all of that, my crochet will keep me busy. I've showed you all of this so that I can pack it away and have the craft room looking a little bit more organized. And I've started my new mosaic project, which I'm very excited about. So I will link the mosaic. It's a long one, guys. You don't have to watch that. You can just zoom in to see the blanket. I did complete a little lapgan with the mosaics pattern. So I'll link that. I'll link my little Prompto DIY crochet make for these ornaments. And maybe I'll go take a nap now and start my new day, even though it's in the afternoon here already. It's a new day somewhere else, and I need to be awake for that new day too. So all of that sounded like a lot of gibberish. You all take care, enjoy your crafting, and I'll see you next time. Happy crocheting!